Sorry. Okay. All right. So before we begin, I'll introduce myself. So my name is Ophelia Boamah. Ampoh. I'm a Ghanaian, as Princia said, and I'll be taking us through the study group. So basically, what we are going to do today is to have a little conversation about the program. I'd like to know the expectation of some of us, our motivation, and then if there are any questions, I'll take them, answer them, and then we'll be out of here. So I'll start with an introduction. So I termed this, who is Ophelia and why does she think she can help us? So as Princia said, I started out as a psychology and theater art student in the university. That's what actually graduated with. And I think for most of us, I believe we are all coming from diverse backgrounds and trying to move into tech. And I always use my story as a motivation for people because I keep telling them that what exactly does theater art, have in common with programming? And so if from that from that field I could transition to become a front-end developer now, I think anybody can do the same. Okay, so let me just give a little background. Those who have read the blog post that I put out would know the story better. But what happened was when I was in my third year, that was about 4 years ago in the university, I happened to chance upon an article that said that in my country, only about 10% of graduates got employed a year after graduation, and it could take about 10 years for the rest to get employed. And this was before this actually I'd set out to become a filmmaker, but I'd done some research and realized that it wasn't going to be so easy for a recent graduate to start her own production, to make movies, etc. So then I said, okay, then let me look for a job. And then reading this article actually brought a lot of, I'd say, a lot of stress. I had sleepless nights because I was thinking, okay, how am I going to find a job and then support myself, save towards my dream, and then help home at the same time? So my friend in conversation told me about web development and that it was the future. That's how he put it. So I think about a month after that conversation, my friend, I did my own research and realized, okay, what he said was actually true. So I saved up, I bought my first course, and then I started learning. And I think what most people don't tell you about learning to code is the fact that before you actually become a developer, that's 1 2 years, it's the most difficult. Like it's so hard, especially if you don't have anybody to guide you, right? So I spent about 2 years in tutorial loops. Like I was just frustrated most times, and I doubted myself so many times and whether I could actually do this. But along the line, I realized I would say the secret sauce to programming, like learning to program, which is building projects, no matter how small. And so I told myself that once I got to the level where I could actually help people, I was going to make sure that I taught other people who were making that transition and other people who were learning to code that secret sauce that I found. So that's just a little about me and why I think I can help. The next would be the course introduction. So before I go into this, I want to confirm that we all have had access to the link that has the curriculum. So if not, I'll just quickly share that. I'll quickly share that in the group. Okay. Okay, so I just shared that. Let me also add the link for the sorry. Okay, for the Slack group. Okay. Okay. So with this done, I can just proceed. Okay. So basically what we are going to do within this course is I think the three most important parts of learning to code. First, we are going to build projects, a lot of projects actually. Number two, we are going to learn to code with others. That's what we call pair programming, which is a very important skill, because after learning to code, the goal is to get employed or work with a team. And learning to pair program, it's a very good skill to have and to prove to future employers that you can actually work in a team. So afterwards, the last thing is we are also going to have live coding sessions. So every weekend we are going to meet and then build a project together. So that is as a group and as individuals. We are also going to have we're also going to do HackerRank practice for JavaScript, so that whilst we are learning to build product or project, we would also practice our data structures and algorithms, which is also a very important part of learning to code, or that would help to get or secure a job. Now, these are the resources. I've already shared them in the chat, so I'll just move ahead. So if you don't mind, I would like to have about 2 or 3 of us share with us the motivation for joining and any expectations that they have for this learning or study group. So anybody at all can volunteer at this point to talk us through their motivation and then their expectations.
I can go ahead. That's okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Patricia. I just want to point out that I like what Ophelia said regarding like the first 2 years of being an engineer, that is really hard. And I started doing an apprenticeship like about 11 months along, which ended recently. And I'm glad that she brought it up, because it is extremely hard. You don't know what you're getting into. And then when you're working for like a company, like there are times that you don't really get the help that you need and assistance, and you really gotta like do it on your own. So that's the reason why I joined this group now that I have more time on my hands. I think it's always good to get that support, especially women who code. And that's the reason why I'm here. And like, I love the fact that you mentioned algorithms, because a lot of companies require that. So I'm really excited to be here, and just like having a supportive group, it's so important. It really kind of keeps you going, because like when you start working for a company, you feel like you're not good enough, or you get imposter syndrome. So it's always good to have that support, because it's definitely important. And yeah, that's why I'm here.
Thank you so much, Patricia, for volunteering to share your motivation and expectations with us. Please, is there anyone else who'd like to go? Anyone else willing to share their motivation and expectation?
I can also go ahead. I'm Valesca. I'm from Brazil, but actually right now I live in Argentina. And I have been a part of Women Who Code since 2020, when the pandemic started and everything was like, my dreams were crushed because I was working as a German teacher for over years. And it was really my dream to swim to code. And I was really trying very hard at the time, but the pandemic made it really hard for me. So right now I'm taking this as an opportunity to really put my skills out. Like, I already know some code, I already have some skills, and I really need this group to structure myself, to feel comfortable, to kick out the imposter syndrome, because I really need to believe in myself more. And Women Who Code was always a place that I could feel safe, that I could share my struggles. The group from Brazil, it's amazing. The group from Guatemala is also incredible. I will also share some links later from the YouTube videos that they have. They're really wonderful. And that's it. Like, I'm really looking forward to start this career. And thank you, Ophelia, for this opportunity of sharing what you know. And yeah, I'm super excited.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? If you don't want to talk, you can actually text in the chat. And I want us to feel very comfortable, because we will be having a lot of engagement, as I said, for the next 12 weeks. So please feel comfortable and let's interact.
I can go.
Hi.
My name's Tyra. I'm from Salt Lake City. And just this past year, I've been trying to learn JavaScript. So I would say I'm still very much a newbie and just want to learn from other people and try to not be so scared. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Tyra. Anyone else? Hi, Natalie.
Hi everyone, my name is Natalie. I'm originally from Madagascar, but I study here in Washington, D.C. for now. I'm majoring in computer science, and I was doing backend programming, but I felt like that's not my thing yet. So I want to try front end for now to see where it goes. And yeah, that's all.
All right. Thank you, Natalie. Um, I think I would say the pivotal point, or what everybody has hinted on, I hear, is imposter syndrome. And now let me like talk briefly on that, and then we proceed. So as you later come to find out, imposter syndrome is something that would permit me to say, would stay for a while, because at every point you'd feel like you don't know enough. But what I can assure us is this: the cure for imposter syndrome is building more projects, especially as a beginner developer. The more projects you build, or the more stuff you do, you'd later come to find that you'd actually become more confident. And the more confident you become, the more you can silence that voice that comes up in your head sometimes, and questions whether you're actually a developer and whether you can actually do this. So if there's one thing that I can assure you, it's that if you actually are engaged in this program and put in your all, build the project, and dedicate the time to put in the work, imposter syndrome is something that you can actually overcome. So thank you to all who were willing to share their motivation and expectations with us. So at this point, I'd open the floor for any questions that anybody might have, and then I'll take them before we end. So that's basically it for the intro. The rest of the guidelines will come. I'll share them in the Slack group, So I'll actually share the timetable and the dates, what we are doing, and the project we are building, what platforms you have to register on for assignments. Everything else will come in the Slack group. But apart from that, if there are any questions, please feel free to ask them. Or if no, if it's not a question, if it's a suggestion, anything, please feel free to bring it up. Okay, so I think since there are no questions out, I want to believe that we are all okay.
There's a question in the chat.
Okay.
From Betsy.
All right. So Betsy says, how many hours a week of work can we expect? Okay. So thank you for your question, Betsy. So because the idea is this, that most of the people who join this program are actually people who are already working, or schooling or have full-time engagement. We are going to do, I'd say, most work during the weekend, but during the week you'd have assignments and projects to work on. So the time that you would want to dedicate to it, to working on your assignments and projects during the week is totally up to you. But over the weekend, we would have at least 1 hour 30 minutes to 2 hours of live coding sessions and pair programming sessions. So Betsy, I hope your question is answered. Okay, all right. Thank you, Betsy. T, is there any other question from anybody? Anything you're not clear on?
I have a question. Maybe I'm sorry,
okay.
Maybe I'm going too far along, but are we working with like APIs, external APIs and things like that once we get to further along in the curriculum?
Yes, so yes, we would, but for the start, so the whole idea of the program is to even for those who are far along, as he said, way past their HTML CSS days into JavaScript, the whole idea is to do sort of a revision, like with project for the beginning part of the program. So in the beginning, I think the first 2 weeks will be dedicated to version control and HTML, CSS. Then once we get past that, the next week will be for JavaScript basics. And then we move to like the deeper parts of JavaScript. So that's where we would have like working with the APIs and all that. And they will all be based on the project that we have to build.
Okay, great, thanks.
Thank you. Please, does anybody? Yeah, hello.
Hi, yeah, my name is Dayat. So I believe I got the time right because I'm in a different time zone, West African, but I couldn't see, so I'm joining late. So I don't know what's been going on or something. Sorry if I take you back.
Okay, that's okay. So basically I was just giving an introduction. I was just giving an intro myself, and then an introduction on the course and what exactly we are going to do. And it was just afterwards we just had a few people tell us their motivation and their expectation. I think that was about it. And then I asked for questions, but because you weren't able to catch the beginning, I'll just mention that basically what I said was we are going to be building a lot of projects, and it's going to be more hands-on practical stuff as opposed to having a lot of theory, right? And we are also going to do a lot of live coding sessions and pair programming over the weekend. And during the week would have assignments and projects that we would work on, but that will be like on individual basis. So I think Betty asked how many hours a week to expect, and then I was saying that it would depend on that would be an individual decision, because the idea is that almost everybody is fully engaged with work or school, etc. So for allocation, like the time slot or the allocation for the weekdays, that will be an individual decision based on how many hours you'd want to dedicate to do your assignment or build your project. So that's it, Daya.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for joining. So if that's nothing else, then I think Princia, I'm done here, so I'd pass the baton back to you. Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah, I guess thanks everyone for asking questions, and Ophi for really like kicking off this one. I've pasted a Slack link, and JS study group is a Slack channel where Ophi would be there, and like I mentioned earlier, there would also be volunteers to like to sort of help out, etc. Some of the things that, based on like my experiences from seeing things overall in the community, I think what normally happens is folks like, maybe start and then sort of drop off midway, etc., which is, I guess, totally fine. I guess the best thing to make best use of the time would be maybe to be transparent in communication. If sort of, you need help, ask for help explicitly. If you're lagging behind, maybe be communicative about that, because sometimes it's just a matter of writing it there or letting others know. We might all be lagging behind, but it's like we might all be shy. This, like Ofi said, will also might also tie to the imposter syndrome thing, etc. This is like an inclusive thing and very much focused on beginners thing. So feel free to ask any sort of question. No question will be treated as stupid. But it's like only the answers can be good or bad. But again, not demotivating you all to answer, even if you're not comfortable with, just give it a shot. So this is also a process of getting comfortable, working in a cohort, working in a public group that you're not familiar with, and getting to know each other. These are all the hidden things there. I guess the only ask would be to be communicative, and just be transparent with your availability if at all you're lagging behind. I guess this will give Ophi a lot of inputs about how to prepare for the upcoming weeks, or how to just plan her availability. So if a lot of folks are maybe not falling behind for a week, for example, then that might give Ophi some time to also take a break and then come back when all of you are back. We will be flexible here and sort of figure out how this sort of works. So we will also maybe try different things that basically works with this group. Time zone definitely will be a challenge and issue. We will try to keep things async as much possible. But like Ophi said, there will also be these sessions, live coding sessions, which we will record and share. We might as well make it available only within the Slack group. So sort of, ask folks to participate in the Slack group and be part of the group rather than making it public. We'll figure it out. We are not sure about that yet. But in short, let us know if you have any sort of questions, if you need any help with, and we will try to format this whole 12 weeks around what best fits. Right, Ophi?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Cool. I have recorded this session, but I guess maybe there is no need to upload this recording onto YouTube unless you all feel otherwise, because this was more of getting to know each other, talking about expectations, aligning expectations. So I might just save the recording. If you all want, just ask and I'll share, but maybe not just upload it to YouTube, because this was just getting to know session, etc. And while you're learning, if you all want to share something, and if you all always have dreamed to give a talk or share a session, also reach out. I'll be more than happy to help you all maybe do your first presentation, your first session, first webinar, first workshop, anything that is share to the community. Bring yourself to a more broader audience, we would definitely do that. So feel free to reach out. In short, just speak about whatever you want. I guess that's like the best way. Be communicative as much as you can. And yeah, just wishing you everyone all the best. All your stories are like, yeah, so motivational. I really hope that y'all get to do what you all signed up here for. So yeah, and also like very excited on this one to get this started.
Thank you.
I have two questions. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the first one is I would love to get the recording. And the second one is, when is the next class going to take place? Is it over the weekend or next week? Thank you.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
Zoom class, I mean. No.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, so the next class would happen on Saturday, upcoming, like the coming Saturday. I checked the day. I think it's 21st. I think it's the 21st of May. Yes, I would communicate the time. So I wish we could all share our time zones so that I could based off on that and then select a time that will be appropriate. OpenSea, what do you think?
Yeah, I guess let's see based on different time zone. So maybe I mean, of course, it should fit within your schedule. So whatever is like best fits for you, that would be the first priority. And then based on what fits to the audience, we could always record this and share it so folks can come back and watch in the Slack channel. But yeah, I guess the cadence would be weekly on a Saturday, right?
Yeah, weekly.
Yeah.
Weekly.
Right.
Yes. So please, if I don't know if we could share our time zones, like maybe briefly in the chat, so that I just have an idea and then I can quickly give. Okay, so I see EST. Okay. Okay. Please, anyone else? Okay. +2. Okay. Okay. I think so. I'll communicate the time in the Slack group, and then we can take it from there. But before that, I'll share the activities on the Slack group as well, and what we have to do for each week, and the expectations. Yes.
Cool.
Thank you.
Anyone, any questions?
Oh, sorry, just one more question. The sessions, the Zoom sessions, how long will they be? I think I forgot or missed this information.
Yes, maximum of 2 hours. So from an hour to 2 hours. So that, I think it would mainly depend on the project that we are building, yes, and how long it would take. Okay.
All right, then let's see y'all in the Slack group. Yeah, we will be around. Feel free to ask questions. And yeah, Ophi will share what to expect for the rest of the week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for joining.
Okay, thank you so much.
Bye everyone.
See you.
See you. Bye.
Bye.